Number 2, we will call to order the February 1st, 2024 Village Board meeting. Roll call shows all village trustees are present except Pat, and she has been excused. Officials and staff are present, and our attorney, Ashley, is present. 4 agenda changes. Are there any? Okay. 5 consent agenda. A, January 18th, 2024 regular board meeting minutes. B, acceptance of receiving WPPA letter on union contract negotiations. And C, presentation of accounts and other claims against the village. If there are no questions, I would need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I will second.
Roll call, Grace?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. 6, pre-registered citizens to be heard. Okay. We'll move to 7, committee reports. A, library board. Pat is out, so we will have that on the next meeting. 8, unfinished business from previous meetings. There is none. 9, new business. A, discussion and possible action on appointment of Hortonville Area School District representative to the library board. Christy Compton will replace Todd Tim, who is representing the school system. I would need a motion to accept her to be on the library board.
I'll make a motion to accept Christy Compton.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. B, discussion on video recording equipment.
This came up at the last meeting, basically about potentially replacing our current video recording system. Staff would like direction from the board on, is this something that you guys want us to pursue or not?
I'm the one who asked for it to be on the agenda. So we currently have a camera that records board meetings, and we've had some issues with the video and audio quality. And essentially, it was kind of set up, you said it's kind of like a security camera, if I understand right?
Yeah, it's a security camera, and basically we're taking 5-minute clips from that security camera footage, creating videos up.
Okay. So they make cameras that are specifically for this kind of purpose, and it's likely under 5,000. And I just wanted it, if that's something that helps the public still be involved, or at least be able to view our meetings or other events that we so choose to record. I would just like staff to explore the different pricing and bring it back or I guess if it's under 5,000, but I mean, it's up to you. Do you feel like you should bring it back to the board?
I mean, it would probably have to be through the board. I don't know if we have it in the budget.
Correct.
So it'd have to be probably with some reserve funds utilized, I would guess. So.
Understandably, there's just been, and the issue is not a correctable issue. So the video quality is as such, and that's something that helps the clerk with with doing minutes, especially if they're unable to make it. But could we look into pricing at least and see if there is possibly places we could pull money from, and then the board would make a decision on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd like to get the rest of the board to kind of make a motion, because there's a lot of different options for how you want to, how we might want to go about it. I mean, I can talk to New London; they just replaced their system, and kind of reach out to other places and try to find something that would.
I'd be curious to see everybody else's opinion on this. I just feel like this, if we're having problems, I think it's likely to continue.
How often are you having problems with it?
I don't know. We've had a few problems on, I think it was like 3 of the videos at one point in a row. And eventually we kinda got that fixed. I would say probably maybe 5 or 6 in the last 6 months, maybe. I only hear about them when people complain to me. I don't really watch the videos after being here, so.
And given that there's like 2 meetings a month, and
Right.
if there's 5 or 6 in 6 months, that's potentially 1 meeting a month that has some, I mean, not that that's the actual data, I wouldn't wanna go with that, but it's important. There was some important information in that last meeting, and it just cut right out. And there was another meeting from this past summer that they tried, that I had asked for it to be recorded, and that one was also very corrupt. And so then I lost out on the content while we were on vacation to watch, and so, I don't know.
I agree with what Julie said. Comfortably.
I mean, does it hurt to get pricing? I mean,
Right.
it doesn't hurt to get
Might as well
pricing.
get
I think we
Yeah,
should have
I-
some pricing, at
Yeah.
least a couple.
I wouldn't look
Oh,
at,
yeah,
I wouldn't look at a Cadillac system, I mean,
Right.
literally, we used to set a table out there with a camcorder on it.
It was
Right.
me.
Yes, Julie,
It
thank you.
was me.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not like we need some ultra high definition, you know, pick up everything, record forever. We just need a basic system that's reliable.
Do you want a motion on it? Or just
Sure,
a head nod?
yeah.
A
I'll
motion?
take a motion for our staff to pursue.
I'll make a motion to
Hang
direct
on,
staff
Hang
to.
on, it's discussion only, I think.
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't have a motion.
Okay.
I'll just do it myself.
Okay, so you have a
Okay.
head nod, is a head nod not
So you got a
official?
head nod.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to C, discussion on department head reports.
I guess this is for you guys to kind of discuss, because it came up at one of the meetings to discuss the department head reports, on what you guys are expecting from those, I guess.
I think it was Jim that was asking.
Yep.
Okay, so here's how this works, is that you did such a good job on the reports that you submit to us, that I suggested that the department heads work under your supervision, that at your discretion to determine, to try to take that platform that you developed, that we all really like, and we found informative, for you as their direct supervisor to take that platform, utilize it in whatever way you see fit, to not inconvenience too much, but to provide, you know, the maximum amount of information to the board members, and implement it on your end, not from us, because I don't want to be in the, you know, dictating, do this, you know, this is up to you. You work with it every day. Department head work with it every day. But it's, you're a victim of your own success with this, because the report that you send out is extremely informative. And, you know, everybody raved about it in your last review. So that's where my head was with this.
Okay.
I wasn't looking for us to direct you to have any specifics whatsoever,
Okay.
but to let you know that the report that you're doing is so well received and so beneficial, that structuring something under your supervision, however you see fit, would be of a similar platform somewhere,
So, like,
would be helpful.
one thing I talked to the staff about is larger projects, basically, would be the only thing
Yeah.
that would be required of them
Yeah.
to kind of have on there. So it'd be pretty much, most of it would be under Aaron and myself, to just kind of keep you guys up to date on some of the projects that they
Yeah.
have. So,
I mean, even, sorry to cut you off, even like when you were doing the sirens, right? I mean, just to keep a timeline the whole way through, that would have been something, you know, in reference to the police department. In reference to the public works, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, of long-term projects, that it's nice to be able to have a reference to say, okay, this is what they're working on, this is, you know, these were the milestones where we were at, and without having to try to manage and remember them on our own, because you work with them every day, we don't.
So Jim, I just want to clarify, so there's currently like the Public Works and the chief and the clerk normally do reports in the packet. So do you see this in addition to that, or you see this as a different? I just
Well-
want to make sure I understand, so, because I like the fact that the public, if they pull up the packet, they can see everything that's in that report. And I wouldn't want those reports to be any less informative on the little things and some of the bigger stuff too. I just want to make sure that staff has a better understanding too. Like, is this in lieu of that, or is this in addition to that, or is it a duplication of that?
It's up to Nathan. I'm not,
I would probably do it as an addition, not like a separate document, just basically for, like I said, most of it's gonna end up on here to myself, but unless you guys are talking about just on like so for a year, basically keeping a running list so that you guys can go through it and just attaching it in. The issue is gonna be you're gonna have like longer packet every single week, but I mean, I guess the question is, if you want it like that, I mean, I don't think that'd be an issue. That'd
Yeah.
just be basically, instead of us starting a new document each week, they would just continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and like what's in the packet is nice just because it covers sometimes hot things that have maybe happened in the last week or two, which wouldn't necessarily then meet that report, is what you're saying? Is that how I understand it, or it would?
No, I think basically first of all, I mean, one of my main functions of my job is board communication. So there's not really a thing that goes on project-wise that I don't know about in the village. So part of it is I can add those items on mine and basically get away from the fact that I need a department head to be, giving follow-ups on certain projects.
yep.
I know, and if you guys are fine with that, for me just adding it to my, topics, I'm
Okay.
good with that, because I already know all the stuff, I already pestered them enough to figure out what they're doing. So, I think I can do it that way, and that way it doesn't, affect them as much, and it doesn't really add much to my job as.
Yeah, that's why I was leaving it up to you.
Okay.
That was the intent,
Okay.
is to just have tracking on, timeline tracking on how things are going. And just to, so that way you have something to look back at and say, okay, here we are.
Okay.
Anyone else have any suggestions? Are we good? Okay, we will move on then to D, discussion and possible action on WPPA contract negotiations.
So I know Brian's here, wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it, and then basically figuring out how you guys want to have this structure of this negotiations this year done after he's finished. So I'll let Brian, our sergeant, talk to you guys first.
I think we're just looking for direction on how we want to move forward. In the past, we've had committees, sometimes just started out with administrator, myself. We could involve our rep depending on how the village wanted to move forward. So I think we're just looking for some direction from the board as to how Nathan, Tom, and I should proceed.
So, Brian, what do
Yes.
you do? Draw something up and then present it to Nathan?
Yeah, so in the past, not last negotiation, but previous to that, what we've done is presented an initial proposal to the village. Sometimes that's just been between the administrator and I. Other times, the village board has provided a committee that we meet with, comprised of village president, public safety chair, one other board member. It's just really up to you how you wish to proceed with the first steps and what you want that to look like kind of moving down the road with that. So obviously it all comes back to the whole board, but it's kind of up to this board how they wish to proceed with the initial conversations about negotiations.
I mean, having been part of a few of them, like as a board member, this used to just go to the administrator first, and then it would start there, and then once a lot of those initial questions were answered, then it would go further. I'm comfortable with Nathan at least starting with that. I don't have a preference, but it just seemed that worked okay too.
Yeah. And that's fine.
But that's just my opinion. I mean,
I support that as well.
we even did one, I think, when we had an intern administrator. I mean,
Yeah, that was
I
the
mean-
last one.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were here late.
No,
that
that wasn't the last
No,
one.
that
That was the one before that. That was the
Yeah.
first one that I was here.
Two,
Yeah, that was
it
a
was
long
two
one.
ones ago. But I mean,
Yeah,
and that was, I just think that that's part of your role, is at least to start this. And I think then it spearheads where it goes further with the board.
So set up a meeting with Brian and the union rep, and then, is that what you wanna do? Is that what you're saying? And then take it a little further?
Yeah, I mean, we've done that or with a committee, so I guess that's up to
Or do you want the
Nathan.
committee
I
right
mean, we
away?
could, that's up to the village, I guess. I mean, we could certainly, Tom and Nathan and I could sit down and have some initial discussions, and then if the committee, if we wanted to move forward to developing a committee for future discussions, I mean, that's up to you if you wanted to develop that committee now, or if that's something you want to do, you know, after we first meet and you have discussions with Nathan about where things stand. I think that's up to the board.
Do you have a preference?
No.
You don't?
I would say, meet with Nathan, and then what we've done in the past was just doing a public safety, and then everybody's invited to public safety. It doesn't, you know, it's not limited, but we did public safety, and then we went from public safety to the full board after that.
So just pick a time and let us all know.
You guys get started, and then we'll schedule a public safety outside of the board, outside of the meeting, and we'll go from there.
Generally, how long does this take? I mean,
Since we did that really long one, like 3 years ago, it's been really fast. It's
yeah,
been
so
really
I mean,
quick.
I see this expedited fairly quickly, because the last time
Right.
it was a comb through line by line. This time I don't see that.
Right. I mean, it's always just a matter of, you know, how many, you know, items are to be discussed, but I don't anticipate that. I mean, it's hard to say, right, because it's just a matter of how
Yeah.
those negotiations go, but I would say there aren't many items to be discussed, so.
No.
Not, you know, in comparison to last, where we had a lot of discussions about wording and different things and really went through the entire
Literally line by line.
Yeah, we did
Correct.
line
So,
by
I mean,
line.
Yeah.
there's,
But it's helped though from since then. It's streamlined it down quite a bit, and we took a lot of bloat out of the contract and the agreement.
Mhm.
so, yeah, we'll set up a time and get started.
Could it be sent to more of like a public hearing type setting, or it has to go to?
The final document is part of the open session, but you usually don't have the public, I mean, technically you can, but normally you don't have the public involved with negotiating.
But they can come to the public safety meetings and
Yeah, so,
participate?
yeah, I mean, yeah,
And in all honesty, public safety, any board member, anybody could request it too to be recorded. You know, if there's, like, I couldn't make it to a public safety, and I've asked, could we record this, so that I could at least hear the discussion, so I could better understand ed board. That's always an option too.
Ashley, is the contract negotiation closed or open session?
I believe it's open at
Okay.
every level. Have you experienced anything different?
for
I don't
closed
remember, we don't do it that
negotiating.
often.
Well, no, he's saying these initial with the committee, could the committee go into closed session on that? That's what you're asking.
Well, yeah, I don't remember, because we only do it like every couple of years or so I don't
Well,
remember.
we didn't,
Usually
I don't
it's
think-
ironed out enough by the
I
time
don't
you
think
get to
we
that
went
point
to
that
the-
there's no need for a close. That makes sense?
the last time we went to
Well,
the.
yeah, but how do you get to the?
We went to the
ironed
full
out
board right away the last time, because the whole board went through the document line by line. That's why that night
Yeah, went
was.
to for really.
So
long.
previous to the last negotiation, we just had a committee, like I said, that was comprised of the village president, public safety chair, a board member, and the administrator. And then we didn't have
An official
like public
meeting.
safety meeting per
Why
se,
is-
it was just a negotiation
Yeah.
meeting. And then
Right.
that information was brought, once we reached kind of
Agreement.
the finality of it, then we would send it off to attorneys, and then have the entire board review and approve.
Sure.
That's what we had always previously done.
Right, so then that smaller meeting, obviously, because it's not a full meeting, the board, there's no notice requirement for that. They're
Okay.
trying to bring it to you in a somewhat final fashion.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you need a motion on anything? Or just to tell you to go ahead and schedule?
I think do a motion on how you guys wanna structure this going forward, I guess.
Okay,
You
I
want
can
me
make,
to do- I mean, it doesn't have to be the full thing, but if you just wanna have it start with me, I'd rather have a motion for it.
I'll make a motion for the village administrator to proceed with the contract negotiations with WPPA.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I have a point of information.
Pardon?
For you, I have a point of information, an inquiry. When we're voting, how are you deciding if it's individual versus all at the same time?
What are you asking?
When
Whether
we're-
it's roll, she's wondering whether it's why it would be roll call over unanimous voice vote. Roll call,
Roll call is usually when there's money involved, or,
An
if-
ordinance,
say we're, pardon?
an ordinance, a formal change of,
Yes. So, that's why you do it that way.
You can call a roll call for anything.
And
You don't
basically,
have
you can call a roll call for anything. So, did that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay,
Thanks.
we'll go to E, discussion on traffic light cost for Main and Nash.
this was asked to be put on for discussion.
I asked, when Jim said $80,000 a year, and I get it that that wasn't a official quote, just because we've had a lot of citizens ask about the lights, I just think that it would be beneficial if we could at least find out the actual cost. If
So-
we were to,
The DOT basically told us that its monthly electrical cost is estimated around $55 a month, and then 20 hours of maintenance a year.
so,
Bill that.
That's what we were told from the guy from the DOT.
so about 600, so $600 to $700 for the electricity a
Yeah.
year, and then billable time for maintenance.
Question is, what are they billing at?
Hmm?
I mean,
I would guess around 100.
$100 an hour?
Okay,
Couple
even if
thousand
you
dollars.
match it- My guess is it's $4,000 or so. You're probably around 160, 180 an hour is probably what.
Maybe.
So when we're looking at the
So-
downtown redesign and we're looking at all that, and we make decisions, I would just like to not toss out an idea because we have 80,000 in our heads. So
Right,
it's
I mean,
more
I
like,
think at that point, when we
under
have the
five.
design and you're looking at that, we talk with the engineers and
correct.
basically the county, because that's the county's cost. I don't know if we'd be charged at all,
No.
so.
I just don't want it in the public that, the reason why we didn't keep them, you know what I mean, when we go do that design, the reason why we didn't keep them was because it was 80,000 a year, is really what I didn't want. I don't want that to deter any future idea for that intersection.
Right, and
So-
I don't think, my intention was never to do it that way.
Okay.
I think the safety and the use is more important for
Yeah.
a village than it is the cost,
Yeah,
in my opinion,
okay.
to a certain extent.
It was just more to get that $55 a month plus X amount of money, so it's under 5,000 a year, roughly. Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, we'll go to 10, report of village officials. A, clerk treasurer, Jane.
my report was in the packet.
Does anyone have questions for Jane? Okay, we'll move to B, director of public works, Aaron.
My report is in the packet. We did have a water main break on Geezy Street, which was fixed and is working properly now.
When is Geezy going to be put on the
It's
construction?
creeping up. It needs it.
It's bad.
It's definitely on the list.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's what, 12 years out? If we're doing a reconstruction every other year,
Okay.
it's sixth on the line or so. It's something that we're gonna be
We're working on it.
discussing with you guys in the future here, when we have more data from our GIS. Some of it's there, but we need it all in order to give you guys good estimates of timelines
Definitely need
and kind of show you guys what it would look like, so.
Good. Any questions for Aaron? Okay, we'll go to C, Police Chief Chris.
My report was in the packet.
Any questions for Chris?
Just an update, we went through Colton, Hunter, and I went through the ATV, UTV signs and made sure that all of the time placards were removed and that the ones on Nye Street have been pushed out to Industrial Park. So we're in the process of moving that sign, but we need to contact Digger's Hotline before we can move forward with that. So once Digger's Hotline gets back to us that it's all clear to drill a post or drill a hole to put a post in there, we'll be moving that one. And then that project will be completed until we hear back from the county on the other roads.
Any questions for Chris?
I have one question about that, and this is just, it's on topic, but slightly ahead of it. So I know that Hortonville is looking at, I think they've already passed the stuff for the UTV, ATV stuff, they're just waiting for some things to go through. So if, for example, they get their portion of double T approved, what do we do with our end route signs? Do we leave them up, even though it continues?
They're supposed to put one right on the backside of ours.
Okay,
It's supposed to go so that it just kind of.
so that way you know that you cross over into
right.
somebody else, okay. I'm just curious as to.
So like Ellington has their routes open. So
Yeah.
on Grandview, they have nothing posted. So if there's nothing posted, then nobody knows that the routes in Ellington are open.
Yeah,
That's their problem. You
Yeah.
know, they should be putting up the signs.
okay. I'm just wondering what we do to avoid confusion. I know it's not our responsibility, I just wondered what we do.
Right.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll go to D, Library Director, Ally.
I presented a formal report last time, but I do want to reiterate, I did send all of the trustees, and I believe Ashley, our survey. We're doing our strategic plan survey, which is one of the biggest projects I've undertaken as a director. So the importance is really high to have everyone do it. Even if you're not library users, please share the link. It's on our website and our Facebook. We want to hear from everyone. So please share it. It's a really big deal.
You want us to share the link, or you want us to submit?
You can submit it,
Okay.
but it's also on our website and our Facebook. Please share
Okay.
those.
Okay.
Because we're also trying to hit not just Hortonville, but constituents in, the whole surrounding area. We have a 17,000 people service population for our library, and we want to hear from everyone. And this really moves our library the direction we take for the next decade or more. So it's like kind of a big deal. So
Did
please share.
you not say at the meeting that you were going to also have paper copies for people?
Paper copies are in the library.
Okay.
Yep.
good.
Yep, and you can fill them out, drop them in the box, drop them wherever. It's all anonymous unless you want to win $50 in Hortonville business gift certificates. And then we need a phone number or email to contact you if you win. But I have 2 of my trustees out papering the village and surrounding areas today and tomorrow, hanging up posters. They'll be stopping at Donaldson's.
Can you just verify that you have my correct email, because I didn't get anything from you?
I will do that.
Because I don't have the village email anymore.
I will do that. Yes. I will
Thank
do
you.
that. Yes.
Otherwise, I'll give it to you afterwards.
I think I have your other email from when I was working on a different committee.
Okay.
So I think I have that, but I will double check that.
Okay, thanks.
So, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, then we will move to E, attorney, Ashley.
I don't have an update.
Okay. And F, administrator, Nathan.
I don't have too much right now. Sorry, I was out a lot last week, sick all week, so, better this week. Just catching up on past, emails, setting up appointments, coming up. We did get that grant, from the kayak launch, or for the, sorry, not the kayak launch, the kayak rental system, from the Fox Cities Visitor and Convention Bureau, for $14,500 for half the cost of the kayak rental station. So, we did receive that. We haven't received the check, but we were awarded it, so.
That's great.
Any questions for Nathan? Okay, we'll go to G, building permit report. It is in the packet. H, any other miscellaneous topics for future discussions? Nothing? Okay, we'll go to 11, communication and miscellaneous business. A, Black Otter Lake District News. Jane?
We are meeting on February 13th, so I have nothing new yet.
At 6?
At 6.
Okay. We'll go to B
Oh, no, I'm sorry, at 5.
That's
We
like
changed it to 5.
at 5.
At 5.
Okay. B, Hortonville, Hortonia Fire District News. Jim?
None.
Okay, we'll go to C, Gold Cross Ambulance Run Report and News. There is none. D, Hortonville Civic Association. Jane?
Nothing new.
Okay. And E, Senior Activities Committee, and Pat is out. So 12 would be comments and suggestions from citizens present. Are there any? Yes.
I would like a suggestion to look into the village and see what we can do about having overnight public parking between the hours of 3 and 6. After talking with Nathan and the chief, I understand that the village does not have a parking permit system or any way to address guests that don't particularly have a place to park. I live in an apartment complex that does not have any visitor parking, by which they have overnight, they have no place to park. I have open suggestions on that, and I have some of my own as well.
Okay, Nathan, you want to take note of that? And
Yeah, so that's the general, true.
anyone else have any comments or suggestions? Okay, we will move to 13. I would need a motion to go into closed session.
I can make a motion to go into closed session under state statute 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, specifically performance evaluation.
So second.
Roll call, Grace?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Then 14, I would need 5 minutes recess to clear the meeting room. Okay, we'll go to 17. Any action on matters discussed in closed session? And there is none. 18, I would need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 7:17.